I put my heart on the platter, put my head on the water. I would die for you, baby, cause you look just like my daughter. Risk my life for you, baby. Some may say that I'm crazy. I put my rocket out my pocket. You my Tracy McGrady. So what we saying, do? She like why we...
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And if you're not new, well, thanks for coming back. And also hit that notification bell so you never miss out on when I post a new video. So today's video is going to be about a frontal series, basically how I constructed, installed, plugged, prepared, all that good stuff to my frontal. This is part 1, just a heads up. So yeah, stay tuned. So here I'm just preparing to bleach the knots of my frontal. I'm using, well, I'll leave all the products that I use in the description box. So you use bleach powder and developer. Here I'm using 20 volume developer, but I would actually recommend using 30 volume developer. So the consistency that I'm going for is like an icing or like a toothpaste consistency. And you want this so that the bleach mixture doesn't spill through the holes in your frontal. Because if that happens, then it'll start bleaching the roots of the hair, and you don't want that. Maybe you do, but I don't think you do. So yeah, you want it to be thick so that it doesn't go seep through the holes. I'm using Got to Be Glue Free Spray to basically just get the baby hairs out the way so that the baby hairs don't get bleached by accident in the process of me bleaching the knots. So here I'm showing you the consistency that you'd want it to be. So yeah, I use a knife to apply the bleach mixture on the knots because when I used the brush, like when I first started doing it, it was just too harsh and it would like force the bleach to go through the knots in a sense. It was just messy. So the knife just gives a smoother application, so it's easier to apply. So I believe I left my bleach mixture on there for about like 30 minutes, but that's because I was using 20 volume developer. So the lower the number of the of the developer, it'll take longer to process. So I don't really have a set time for how long you should leave it on there. You really just gotta eyeball it because it really depends on the frontal. Some frontals lift faster, some don't, some are stubborn. So you gotta really eyeball it. And once you see that the knots start turning blonde or like brown, like it's bleached, it's not black anymore, that's when you know it's done. And to get rid of the brassiness, orange tone or whatever, you want to use purple shampoo to get rid of that. And I'm using this. Honestly, I lost mine. I didn't lose it, but I just couldn't find it when I was doing this. So this is like a year old and my cousin left it. It's from the UK. I don't know if they have this brand here, but yeah, I will leave what I actually use down in the description box. But any purple shampoo really would do the job. So you see how it looks more toned and it looks more natural. It doesn't have that ugly orange brassiness color. So yeah, looks like a scalp. Okay. So I'm letting the hairline because I'm about to start plucking, and it just makes it easier for me personally. And I pull out those front hairs so that I don't over pluck in the front. So yeah, and also I'm going to use those for baby hairs later. So it just helps me keep the front and it prevents me from over plucking in a sense. So plucking is kind of difficult to explain, but I'm going to do as best as I can. You basically just want to pluck. Like, just don't pluck in one spot for too long. Don't pluck in the front. You want to alternate from the front to the back. You don't want to stay in one area for too long. I cannot stress that enough because you will over pluck and you will have bald spots, and that is not cute. So all this hair came out just from like literally 1 minute of plucking. So yeah, like, don't be scared. Pluck them hairs, girl. So my lighting at the time was literally a bag of trash. So, and just be prepared. Like, I have so many disclaimers for this video. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like from my view. So you can clearly see what side is plucked and what side is not. Okay, so here's another disclaimer. My boyfriend was kind enough to help me record to show a better view. Bless his heart, but he is not a cameraman. I'm just warning y'all now, some of this footage is going to be so, like, what the fuck. But, I mean, I took out most of the footage that I thought was completely useless. So, you should still be able to follow along and hopefully understand what I am showing you. So notice how I'm not only plucking in the front, like I rotate towards the back so that, you know, like the front hairs don't get over plucked. And once I feel like it's sufficient enough, I pull back those baby hairs and I pluck them all together. So here I'm just trying to get a sense of what my baby hairs are going to look like, and I just pluck them down a little bit because it was just too full in the front. So that's all I'm doing. And then I literally repeat the same exact thing on the next side. So just remember, don't pluck all in one spot. You want to rotate, go up, down, side, side, whatever you got to do. Just don't over pluck because it's so easy to over pluck. But then again, it also takes a very long time to pluck. Like this whole process probably took like 45 minutes. Disclaimer number, I don't even know what number I'm on, but you see, I'm just, I'm getting the whole hang of this whole YouTube thing, and I didn't have the proper equipment at the time, so I was just making do with what I had. I realized that you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm going to try to explain as best as I can. So basically what I'm doing is sewing down the frontal, and I'm trying to show you guys how I sew, but my arm is in the way. But I secured the first knot more secure than the rest. But here you just put the needle through the frontal and then the dome cap, and then you just wrap the thread around the needle, the pointy part of the needle, twice, 3 times, however secure you want it to be, and then just pull it and secure it on there. So I'm about to show you guys how I start off the knot to secure it and how I occasionally secure the wefts when I sew. So I go under, through, under, through, and I do that twice, and it makes sure that my tracks go nowhere. So I do that like occasionally, like if I do a couple of sews, like you see it's like the 5th one. I did it the first time and I'm doing it now, so it's like I sew, secure it like that, and it makes sure that even if there's like a loose thread somewhere, like every other time, like it makes sure that my wefts are not going anywhere. So yeah, and I start off that way and I end that way. So I'm just sewing on the tracks now. I single wefted this because I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough, but it ended up being enough. But anyway, I start with a track right on top of the elastic part. People say that if you sew on top of the elastic part, it won't make it less stretchy, but that's not a risk that I'm willing to take, especially I'm taking all that time to sew this wig, so like I'd rather not. So yeah, I sew right on top of that part, and I start right at the tip where the frontal starts, and I go make my way all the way around. So yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just gonna let you guys watch. Like, look at that thread work. Can y'all even tell that I threaded there? Like, so I'm doing the flip over method. I don't cut my wefts. Like, yeah, no, when I'm sewing, I don't do that. But yeah, so what I do is I put the needle through both wefts, so the one that I flipped over plus the one that was already underneath, and I also put it through the dome cap, and then I knot it the secure way that I taught you guys. So you put it through, and then you go under, and then you pull it and secure it. And also, if you guys want me to do a more in-depth tutorial on how I sew, because like I ain't gonna lie, like I'm pretty fond of how I sew. Like it's really neat, and like it literally, my tracks go nowhere. Like I never had a complaint about like loose tracks or anything like that. Like I would have wigs for a year and my tracks would still be intact. So if you guys want like an in-depth tutorial on how I sew, like sewing 101, I guess, leave that down in the comment section below and I'll be more than glad to make a video for you all. I just didn't think that, I don't know, I guess I thought just sewing was basic and like most people knew how to do it already. But if I have some viewers that do want to see how I do sew, like with a better view, because I know this view, like I said, is ass and trash, just let me know in the comment section below and I will definitely whip something off y'all. So here I'm about to start sewing horizontally. I didn't cut the weft at all. I was just normally going back around how I would normally sew, but I stopped in the middle right there and I just did the flip over method and I'm going across the opposite way so I can start doing my whole horizontal sewing. So here you just want to connect your weft and your frontal lace together once it's your last track so that it creates a seamless finish. This is literally the first weft that I cut, no joke. I just wanted to show you guys how uniform and neat the underneath of the cap looks. Like once you keep that same rhythm going, it's gonna look just like this. Now you want to be very, very, very careful when you're cutting off the excess cap from the wig, because like, yeah, I promise you don't want to get done doing all that hard work and you accidentally cut off one of the thread from the cap and you have to start all over. Like, who wants to do that? I know I don't. So here I'm just parting off some of the hair from the frontal so that it can blend with the track so you won't see the tracks. So yeah, and I'm just about to hot comb it down. And you want it to look like this, like you can't even see where the tracks start. And if you do, you're looking too hard. These curls are just gorgeous, like gorgeous. So here I'm just getting a sense of how my baby hairs are gonna look. So you can set them here and I'm just trimming them down and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, you are the real MVP. But stay tuned for part 2, which is in the description box. Click the link and watch how I install this bad boy. See you in the next video.